So what happens now?
No, I've been ordered to take you back to Washington, where the DOD will label you as a rogue extremist and hang the Kremlin bombing on you and your team. Unless you were to escape somewhere between here and the airport, having assaulted Mr. Brand and me. Sir? You would then illegally scrounge whatever material you could from a backup supply cache that I've overlooked. The same cache where your team are waiting for further orders, sir. Ethan, you are my best man. And I'm sorry it's come to this after all the sacrifices you made. If we don't meet again, I just want you to know I've always considered you a friend.
Change. It's weird. I genuinely understand what real pain is now, and I never even knew it. Real pain existed before this.
Rick and Mary Todd say they are taking their struggle back to Washington, pressing for a congressional investigation and a meeting with President Obama.
We are continuing our quest to seek truth and to reveal what we know that we were not allowed to reveal in Singapore.
Please continue to celebrate with us the wonderful life of our son Shane.
Their pain is somewhat tempered by the strong bond they now have with Shane's girlfriend, Shirley, and by their overwhelming pride for their firstborn son.
We just remember him just who he was. I mean, a loving son, loved his brothers dearly, loved us dearly.
The way I would like my son Shane to be remembered is exemplified by his middle name, Truman. Shane was a true man, and we are very, very proud of him, and we know that our son died an American hero.
Have the Todds made the case for murder? Chat now with correspondent Peter Van Sant on Twitter.
The first shot went through the shower door, 9 holes in him.
My father died reaching for the phone.
Well, Radley has 500,000 reasons to see his dad dead.
Married, gotten divorced, gotten remarried, had gotten divorced again. Love, hate, and obsession.
He died like Caesar, surrounded by enemies.
Tonight at 10, new details in the shocking death of the Jefferson County, Illinois woman found dead here at this home. We have been following severe weather all across the heartland all afternoon and throughout the evening. Reports of damage starting to come in.
That's good, Doctor.
That's good checkup.
Plus, why new technology is forcing doctors to take a second look thanks to the first government-approved bionic eye. Heartland News at 10 starts now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is Heartland News at 10 on KFBS 12.
Good evening, and thanks for watching Heartland News at 10. Weather has been definitely the story today. We have a tornado watch-up for several counties across the heartland. We will get to the very latest on that here in just a moment. But let's begin tonight with a homicide investigation in Bonnie, Illinois, where right now the grandson of the victim is in custody. Arnold Wyrick has more on that.
It was late Thursday afternoon when deputies with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office arrived at this home in Bonnie. They were there to do a welfare check on 84-year-old Rita Newell.
When they arrived at the residence, of course it was secured. We knew the urgency of checking on the individual that supposedly was inside, so we forcibly entered the residence and discovered the body of Rita Newell, deceased.
Police gathered evidence at the scene for hours that day and into the night, which alarmed some neighbors when they arrived home.
I didn't know until the next day what happened.
When you found out what happened, what went through your mind, Barbara?
I was shocked. Yeah, I still can't believe it. It's just unreal.
And for Barbara Lomax to find out that the prime suspect is Newell's 42-year-old adopted grandson, Timothy Newell, she says is unnerving because she met him just a couple of weeks ago for the first time.
So I met the grandson one time, and he did tell me, he says, well, my grandmother's going to want to know who you are because she'll want to bake you cakes and things.
Honda continuing to Harrisburg, and then beyond that up to I-64, and then another area of rain further toward the west. So yes, there's quite a bit still to come across the area, at least rain. We have a tornado watch in effect for these counties in red east of the Mississippi through 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. The satellite radar shows the lines of storms that came through, and some of those, of course, were severe. We had a number of tornado warnings and some reports of damage so far. As we look at over the next several hours, we'll still have rain and thunderstorms. A look at the forecast for Sunday, which is looking a little better in a few minutes.
All right, that sounds good. We'll take a look at some of the pictures that we've been getting in throughout the day. These coming to us through CNews and Facebook. We thank everyone who's helped keep us up to date on the severe weather situation as it has moved in. We do have some reports of damage. The Obion County EMA reporting some power poles and trees down in the city of South Fulton. Also hearing from the Fulton County Sheriff's Dispatch that there were reports of hail, also some flooding in the streets earlier today. Some businesses with water coming through the door. At last check, though, all roads have been reopened, and we understand that the water situation at those businesses, just a minor situation. Thankfully, no reports of any injuries tonight. We'll take a look here. Video out of Wayne, Nebraska. You can see millions of dollars worth of damage left behind from a tornado overnight. The city's mayor says 15 people were hurt. None of them life-threatening injuries, though. 4 homes destroyed along with the city's softball complex. Winter shows up a little early in South Dakota. Look here, a group of 4 people took these while trapped in their SUV. Apparently they got caught up in some whiteout conditions. The snow just piled up so fast they couldn't keep driving. They called police, but they were told there was no one who could help them. It wasn't until this morning that crews and snowplows made it to them. The group, originally from Georgia, says they huddled together to stay warm throughout the night and ate the few snacks that they had in the car to get them by. Tropical storm Karen now barreling toward the Gulf Coast, and though it's losing some strength, people are still bracing for impact. Right now, a tropical storm warning only in effect for a part of coastal Louisiana. Marley Hall has the latest on that.
It really was just another day at the beach in Pensacola. Beachgoers enjoyed the sun, the sand, and the active surf, despite the lingering threat of Karen.
Waves are a little sloppier than usual, but a great day at the beach.
Probably the only issue that we might have with the storm surge.
A wedding party boarded this trolley for a ceremony downtown. The bride and groom managed to squeeze in their vows before Karen had a chance to come between them.
I was very nervous about the storm at first, but the weather's so finicky here that I had a feeling it probably wasn't going to rain.
It's a blessing that we don't have, the hurricane didn't come. Of course, rain or shine, we're both going to be very happy.
Even though Karen has weakened and become less organized, forecasters are warning Gulf Coast residents to remain vigilant.
Regardless of a high-end depression, low-end tropical storm, the impacts will be very similar.
That means high winds and potential flash flooding.
The storm surge could cause flooding above ground level of 1 to 3 feet in some spots.
Officials in Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana say evacuations there are now voluntary, not mandatory. Karen is expected to weaken even more as it heads inland by Monday. Marley Hall for CBS News, Pensacola Beach, Florida.
And by the way, we're just learning that Karen has now been downgraded to a tropical depression. That just coming in. And besides avoiding Karen, the wedding party there also made it a priority to get back to the hotel in time for the Louisiana State University football game on TV. Well, the rain today, you could say, made this event a little better. About 300 people came out to this Obstacle Challenge 5K mud run in Cape Girardeau County. Racers ran through a muddy obstacle course that involved climbing, sliding in mud, and splashing around in the water. They did it all for a cause. Proceeds will go to help police officers and firefighters through the Backstoppers Incorporated program. And take a look here. The rain not so welcomed at this event in Cape. People had to head for cover as it started to pour. Still, hundreds came out for the Kappahoff fire truck rally today. They got an up-close look at some firefighting equipment and got a chance to help raise awareness for the Missouri Children's Burn Camp, which helps children ages 6 to 17 who have suffered burns in a fire.
Because if you've been through a fire or something like this, you know what they're going through, and you can feel it in your heart. And like I said, my son was on the fire department for years, and he just lost his house a couple of weeks ago, so I know what all's going through.
The event also helped to kick off Fire Prevention Week. Coming up next, a glimmer of hope after a 5th day in the partial government shutdown. Plus, meet the man who's living with the first FDA-approved bionic eye.
You're watching KFVS 12. Live, local, late breaking. This is Heartland News.
Planning a birthday party is no piece of cake.
We all voted on peanut butter cake, except for 2 kids who will die if they go anywhere near it. I'll let you hash that out.
Next time on The Middle.
Tonight at 10:35 on KFVS 12.
It's a fancy night at the museum.